Before we get started in today's video, you can use code MUSCLEX for $200 off any kind of computer pre-built over at Artesian. If you're interested, link will be down in the description. The gameplay that you see in the background is not my gameplay. I went through and I recorded all these things on my PS4. The way I have my stuff set up to record isn't really working right currently. I have an issue that I have to go through and fix. And of course, it happens when I want to record something new that comes out. So I had to kind of figure it out a little bit. So the gameplay in the background is just going to be random gameplay that was thrown up. If you guys want to go support this person, feel free to. I'll put the link down in the description. Let's get right into the video and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that crazy stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when another video goes live. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Today is the Call of Duty Vanguard Alpha, or known as Vanguard Champion Hill. It is the PSN exclusive alpha to Call of Duty. Because PSN always has these rights, they always get it early. And so we got it early and we were able to play it and check it out. And this is my kind of thoughts after being able to play it for a while. The engine is the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. So it is, you know, the really good engine. It's fantastic. It's flawless. Just a little bit more tweaked into the liking of Vanguard here and there. More than less, it is the Modern Warfare engine. With that out of the way, let's talk about the pros and the cons. So first things first, let's talk about my initial reaction and what I thought of the game mode, because it is just a game mode, and what I think about it overall. You can't really get too much information on this game mode itself about the actual game and how it's going to play, because this is going to play way differently than any other game mode out there, than TDM, Search and Destroy, all that stuff. Especially how the maps feel, how the maps play. It's just a small snippet. There's not much you can really get from this besides just a 2v2 gunfight. Is essentially what it is. Think of it as Modern Warfare 2019 when they had their 2v2 gunfight alpha. You couldn't get too much information on how the game is now compared to then. So this is kind of the same situation. There's really not much you can get out of this besides a little bit of playtesting on some couple things, some couple guns, and a couple mechanics here and there. So let's talk about the pros first. The game looks fantastic. Even though most of the time I was playing on PS4, because that's just what I have available to me right now as a PS4, it still looks really nice, especially on the older gens. I'd imagine on PC and the newer generation consoles, PS5 and stuff like that, would look phenomenal and really good and up to par in terms of how games look nowadays. And I think it would look phenomenal for a lot of people. It looks great so far. Definitely do like how the game looks. The minimap, I really like the minimap in this Call of Duty. I like that the minimap is colored. It really adds a lot of flavor and text to what you're seeing and what you're looking at. I do like it a lot. It helps me kind of visualize more of where my enemy would be at if I saw him on the minimap or the radar or whatever it is. So really good job on the radar. I like that a lot. Fantastic. It looks good, it plays good, and that's really all that matters to me when it comes to a specific game for Call of Duty. But let's talk about the cons and some of the things that I do not like. And pretty much besides that, and for all what we know, that's kind of my pros. So this list is a little bit long. My first initial reaction when spawning into a map and starting the first 2v2, I noticed when I'd look over at someone pretty far away, it was blurry. I couldn't see. I don't know if there's like a film grain option or if some things are turned up or whatever. I'm not a big fan of that. I hate the film grain. I don't know if it's because I was on PS4 or not, but it just looked weird looking at somebody from far away. Hopefully you can turn these settings off and everything like that into the future. But it kind of felt like I was playing Warzone and looking really far out and you just see pixels. It's just hard to see. It just looks really blurry and kind of distorted a little bit. Again, I don't know if that's just me or not, but it looks really wrong and kind of janky a little bit. I'm not a big fan of that. So hopefully, again, when it comes to PC, because that's my main preference of things that I play on is PC. Hopefully I can turn off all those settings, and most of the time you can, in most games you can. So hopefully that isn't a big issue. Next, the screen shake when getting shot and the blood. I am not, like, this just needs to go away, in my opinion. This is just terrible. When you get shot in this game, it feels like you get slowed down by like 75%. Especially when they have like fire rounds, it basically just hits you and you feel really clunky and slow. It's not fun, and it's just a terrible thing to go against because you can't reposition, you can't do anything. The moment you get shot, you're pretty much dead because the fire rounds or the penetration or whatever it is slows you down so much and you feel like a snail, and I hate it. The blood, when you get hit, essentially, it doesn't matter what gun it is or anything like that. When you get hit, your screen will go all red and it'll shake and you can't see what's going on and your screen will go dark. So when you're getting shot, you'll see it a couple times in the gameplay in the background. You'll see when you're getting shot that the screen will shake, blood will go on the screen, and you can't see what's going on, and your screen will become really dark. It's just impossible to see what's going on. You cannot tell. So if you're in a 1v1 gunfight and you both hit each other, it's just hard for you both to even see what's going on, and you're just shooting aimlessly until you find something to shoot at. It isn't pleasant. I don't like it. They need to change it or tone it down or something like that because it's awful. The TTK feels a lot slower than in Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare had a great TTK and I wish they kept it because I was hoping so because of the Modern Warfare engine, but they made the TTK a lot slower in terms. It's a little bit slower. It's not bad, but I wish it was a little bit higher because it feels like sometimes some people are bullet sponges. There's really not much more I can say about that. I just wish the TTK was a little bit higher compared to Modern Warfare, but it's okay. Right now, the top dog guns would be ARs. ARs are 100% better right now in terms of this game. Very, very powerful at the moment, especially with the fire rounds because it disorients your entire screen. You can't see what's going on. You get hit once and you're pretty much donezo. So yeah, the STG, the bar, really, really good. Probably gonna melt in Warzone. The SMGs, we've only had a chance to play with a couple SMGs, the Thompson and the MP40. Not too bad. They're okay. Pistols, haven't had a chance to release them too much, but not too bad. Again, these are probably a bunch of things that are going to change throughout and shift into the beta, into the full game release. So I'm not too worried about how the guns feel too much. Let's talk about snipers real quick. Snipers are not too bad. They're okay. When it comes to like a 1v1 gunfight, if you don't hit that first shot, that flinch really destroys you, especially the recoil on the gun. I don't know what it is. The recoil just kicks up into the left. It looks a little bit funky and weird. I guess if you got used to it, it'd be okay. But the amount of flinch you get when you're shooting at somebody, especially not being able to see, as I talked about before, it just doesn't really help out a lot. Hopefully the snipers change in terms of how the recoil is a little bit. I don't mind it, but maybe just take some time to get used to how it looks. And maybe I'm just, I'm used to the normal Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2 sniping and stuff like that. And I know a lot of Call of Duties nowadays are trying to stop you from quickscoping, so it's probably the reason. I just wish that the recoil was a little bit different. The destructible environments in this game are pretty cool. I do like that Call of Duty is trying to go down the route of Battlefield when it comes to destructible things and trying to make the game more alive and popping, especially with how they do some other mechanics like the blind fire and some other things. The blind fire is terrible. No one's going to use it in an actual game more than likely, but it's like when you blind fire, it just makes your entire body like come all the way out along the wall. So it looks like you're standing there and your accuracy is terrible. So the blind fire probably no one's going to ever use, but it's a cool mechanic regardless if someone wants to, but I definitely wouldn't recommend using it. They probably have to tune it and how it works. Hipfire. Let's talk about hipfire. None of the guns seem like to have any kind of attachments to change hipfire because you can't really look at the attachments because when you upgrade your guns, it just becomes a certain rarity in this game mode. And it's just in this game mode. When you upgrade your guns in this game mode, it changes, attachments and some other things. But I'm not too sure if some specific grips will help out with your hipfire. But it felt like it didn't matter between green and legendary variants. Hipfire was terrible in this game. I definitely don't ever see myself hip firing, especially with ARs. I don't know how it is with SMGs. I didn't really get a big chance to try that out yet. From the time of me playing for a couple hours, I definitely felt like hip fire was just useless, and I barely ever found myself hip firing in most situations. But overall, with my thoughts and kind of things about how this alpha is, it's definitely a lot better than Cold War, so I'm happy about that. I just really want to wait for the full release and see how it is on PC. Hopefully talk about a couple of things and change some things between now and the beta, because the beta is sometime in September. I think it's September 8th or 5th. I don't have it open right now, so I can't remember when it is, but it's sometime early September. And so when a PC comes out, we'll be playing the hell out of that, and we'll see if there's any differences in between specific things. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This was a little bit of a rant talking about my pros and cons and what I think about it. I know a lot of people don't like the World War II aspect kind of games. If they would have made this engine with a different style of Call of Duty, more people would definitely love it, kind of like Modern Warfare 2019 was. A lot of people loved that Modern Warfare, and it was for a reason. But hopefully this Call of Duty does well. Let me know what you guys think down below, what you guys' thoughts on this are, whether you like it, are you gonna play it, do you hate it, are you okay with it? Definitely kind of want to know what you guys think about it. But other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace, have a good one.